is the Time Machine Rave. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday evening. It's Sunday night in Los Angeles, and we're here spinning the wheel tonight. What does the wheel have on it, you ask? Well, I don't know. Look at it. We got some new stuff. As usual, I have today's Patreon mix genre or theme on the wheel, which this week it's UK Hard House, which is why I'm starting off kind of fast for a TMR set, but it's gonna get faster. Just a warning. Mikey Z, how you doing? Cosmic Seeds, what's up? Bright Wheel, good to see you. And Stuart Bennett, good to see you. How are you? Oh, okay. You were playing Chase when I started my stream. I could do that. I'm allowed to interrupt myself, I think. Jorge PZ, how you doing? Good to see you tonight. Porter Outrun, what is up? Welcome back. Marion, how are you? I mean, if y'all want some real XP, you know, I'm selling it on my my crypto coin web. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't get into crypto. Don't do it. I know that's kind of a late warning now, but you know. YouTube, what is up? Good to see you. K-Spot, how are you? Got lots of tidy tracks tonight. As long as I hit it on the correct space on the wheel, but I have a feeling I will. But starting out with this acid classic from Laurent Garnier, Breathless. In the store. Yeah. If I was more of a con artist, I'd do shit like that, but honestly, I just want to, most of the time, my actual self wants to give all the stuff away for free, but I know that's not a realistic thing to do in this world. So that's why I have Patreon and stuff, but my instinct is like, no, take it, it's free. So if you want any XP, you can have all of it today. Whoever wants it can have all of it. You just gotta figure out how to control it, you know. It's like spice. You control the spice, you control life. You control XP, and you control life. And if you're on Twitch and don't know what I'm talking about, it's probably better that you don't know. OSY, how you doing? So let's spin this darn wheel. See if I land on UK Hard House right off the bat. $19.94. That'll work. Because welcome to the rave. We got a spin again here. But good to see. Happy Monday. It's not Monday yet, Mikey, is it? Oh my God. I'm supposed to be at work. I'm supposed to be doing my stream. Ego Trip, how you doing? It does feel like forever. Welcome back. Donut, what is up? How you doing? Good to see you. Kenneth Saul, DJ Ken in the house. How are you? And yeah, we are spinning it to winning it tonight. And I know that grammatically does not make sense, but it's the only way I can make it rhyme. Here we go. 1996, that's much better year for UK Hard House. That's like right around when it first started taking off. So UK Hard House coming up. And to all, welcome to the rave.
Choose life. Choose a job. Choose a career. Choose a family. Choose a fucking big television. Choose washing machines, cars, compact disc players and electrical tin openers. Choose leisure wear and matching luggage. Choose a three-piece suite on hire purchase and a range of fucking fabrics. Choose DIY and wondering who the fuck you are on a Sunday morning. Choose sitting on that couch watching mind-numbing, spirit-crushing game shows, stuffing fucking junk food into your mouth. Choose rotting away at the end of it all, pissing your last in a miserable home, nothing more than an embarrassment to the selfish, fucked-up brats that you spawn to replace yourselves. Choose your future. Choose life. I chose not to choose life. I chose something else.
we got to spin again here. Because we're still stuck in 1996. We got a time travel or a genre travel or just travel. That's a good thing to just say in general. Just travel in your life, you know? They always say that shit. It's true, I think. Because you get to go to other places. It's that simple. I don't know who I'm talking to there. We got some new people, I know. Who do we got here? Chindian 360. We are partying like it's 1994. That was the first thing I landed on the wheel was 94. So you're right in the groove of things here. So welcome. If you're new here, I stream every day. So make sure you're subscribed if you like it. And absolutely. Oh, well, I mean, yeah. I don't know if it was a mistake or not to candy flip for my first rave, but it certainly made an impression on me. I don't necessarily regret it. I regretted it that week afterwards in 1997. I was like, what did I do? Little did I know it would lead me here. So let's spin this wheel, see what we get. Maybe I will land on UK Hard House proper. I'm hoping for that. I'm not hoping for adult karate because tempo's very fast. I don't even know what I would do, but I didn't take it off the wheel this time. Here we go. Goa Psytrance. I hope Cosmic is here. Last I checked, he was here. But now I'm playing Goa Psy? Come on now. Kenneth, you'd have to travel back in time to when Bitcoin is cheap and then travel forward in time a little bit to when it was most worth, sell it, and then travel back to 2025. I think that's your best bet. You'll get the most bang for your buck. Although that means you have to use the time machine twice, which in and of itself causes issues, but you know, maybe it's worth it. Just don't mess up anything in the past, because it can have severe consequences on the present. All right, here we go. Because welcome to the rave. sort of psytrance that like trips you out, that you'll be walking from one area to another and you'll be like, what the hell is that weird pattern? Like that stuff, you know? This just reminds me of walking around outdoor raves in LA or the surrounding deserts mostly, and just hearing these little acid patterns going on everywhere. Very Moon Tribe. What's up, Jay Howell? How you doing? Rockael Squelch. That's a good acid artist name. More squelch to come. More real squelch. On my little 303 clone there. Anyway, good to see you. Sadiqa Zuder, how you doing? Welcome back. Anatoly. Well, Jay, make sure you come every Friday, because every Friday on Time Machine Rave is Acid Friday. I stream in the morning and at night. All acid. All different kinds of acid, but acid alike. So let's see what we get now. Maybe I'll land on UK Hard House this time. We shall see. None of you happen to be like professional prop makers for game shows? Because I really need a better wheel than this. But I realize it's a very niche kind of thing to be good at, so if you ever meet anybody that says, oh, you know those wheels they have on game shows? I make those for a living. Let me know, because I want to talk to that guy. But here we go. 2000. That works. I'm just going to continue to find loopholes to play UK Hard House tonight. Or at least some kind of fast, trancey stuff. Anyway. Welcome to the rave. Some people might say this is greasing the wheel, as it were, but I'm replacing every year I've already landed on with Hard House. So we're bound to land on it now, so I could finally use a bunch of tracks I've been wanting to play tonight. But I do things by the book, aka by the wheel. And Rob Irving, how you doing? DJ Longhair, what's up? I believe I said hi to Ego Trip, right? Let me know if I missed you, but we got Spin again. Let's see if my grease in the wheel worked. Spin again. We landed on a happy, not happy hardcore, Hard House, finally. Cause welcome to the red.
Ready for this? Here goes. You got me.
I am the danger. Mr. White. Yes, science.
Jesse, you asked me if I was in the meth business or the money business. Neither. I'm in the empire business. I am not in danger, Skyler. I am the danger. I am the one who knocks. Say my name. Say my name. Say my name. Eisenberg, you're goddamn right.
Bitch! Where's my money, bitch?
WW. My star, my perfect silence. WW. Maybe you figure out it. Woodrow Wilson. Willy Wonka. Walter White. You got me. I am not in danger. I am the danger.
Bitch!
Over me, we're scared to believe. succeed. Mind sick with disease. Just 3 words I will need. Smog wash over me, and let all the voices repeat on and on endlessly. We can run until the work's complete. But what if our fate is to be choking on the lives we lead? Over me, we're scared to believe all the things that we read. Minds desperate to feed, veins aching to bleed. Voices will succeed. Mind sick with disease. Just 3 words I will need.
folks, on this very classic Time Machine Rave ending song. I think for the first few weeks, I only ended with Kraftwerk songs. I don't know, I have to go back, but that was over 2 years ago now that I started doing this every day, and I have not stopped. Either there's something wrong with me, or I'm doing exactly the thing I'm supposed to be doing. Either way, I'm fine with it, you know? It's better than, like, you know, working in insurance like I used to. Oh, shit. Lots of messages. And yeah, Eric, E. Martin G, how you doing? Good to see you here. I know you've not been here for a little bit, but good to see you back. I hope it's permanent. Anyhow, that's all the time I have for today. So thank you so much. I love that, Cosmic. I love turning people on to music they haven't heard before. That's my favorite thing in the stream. I don't necessarily like playing, I mean, y'all have figured this out by now, but I don't necessarily like playing the hits over and over and over. I'll play the hits sometimes if it's appropriate, but like, I really love when people ask what a track is and I can tell them and impart that information onto them. And I'll repeat that to everybody. Like, if you ever want to know a track that's playing at the moment, I will tell you just in chat. It may take me a few minutes and I may have to like ask, what was I playing at that minute? But eventually you'll get your answer in the chat. Unless you request the track list, which you can do in the comments and any video in the live archive, including this one when it's up. So yeah, I want to be very transparent about the tracks I play, what I'm playing, what I'm doing to them. Just any questions you have about that stuff, please ask. Because I think, you know, people who like make their whole process too mysterious, I don't know, I think that's kind of pretentious. I just, you know, that's why I have the camera angle here. I want y'all to see what I'm doing. Oh yeah, absolutely, Rob Irving. I was talking about it yesterday during the stream that I have like how many tracks now on this particular USB stick I have in here is 12,366 tracks right now, and a lot of them I haven't played yet. There's a lot of unplayed tracks on there that I originally got because I really liked it. So I don't download stuff I don't like. So one day we will get there where I could display the tracks on the screen, but Pioneer is locking that behind some feature or something they want to do in the future. But I wish, you know, it was like MTV and it just shows you the song playing, record label, song. I really, that would be ideal if anybody wants to figure that out for me, because I've tried and it looks very, very difficult to do it. There's a way to do it with a Wi-Fi router and you hack the thing. I don't know. It seems ridiculous. But that's all I got for tonight. I gotta go. But if you like what you heard tonight, you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow on Twitch, or check out the Patreon link. It's in both descriptions. And today's Wheel of Rave episode was very featured of the Patreon theme, which was UK Hard House today. The Heroes of Hard Dance. So check out that mix. It's on the Patreon page. It's only $2 to become a member, and I upload an exclusive mix every week in audio, like MP3 format and streaming video. So either way, if you want to archive those, the Hard House mix I did today was a lot of fun. Like, that's my favorite way to mix is when I haven't played these tracks yet. Like, if I have like 20 tracks I haven't played yet at the beginning of a stream, I'm so happy because I know like I'm going to be surprised or excited or have an emotional response to the music, you know, because I'm kind of experiencing it for the first time. I kind of skim the tracks, preview them before I grab them. But I love playing stuff for the first time. Anyhow, that is all I got. Yeah, I have a DJ turntable here, our Audio Technica turntable, direct drive. I used to have 1200s. I have a ton of vinyl still, but I'm trying to get a third webcam so I could have it right above here where the turntable is and have that in it as well, because that is how I learned how to DJ and mix back in the 90s with vinyl. But, the USB stick makes it so streamlined and easy. And I have an addictive personality. And DJing music off a USB stick is like perfect for that type of personality. It's like, wow, endless music. Okay, I love that. Anyway, I really gotta go. Thank you all so much. I will be here in the morning at 11 a.m. Pacific time for Breakbeat Monday, almost exactly 13 hours from now. So join me then tomorrow, and I will see you all next time. Mikey, are you streaming tonight? Oh, he put the link. All right, Mikey's got the after hours covered. So head on over to his channel. It's always a fun time on a Mikey stream. He makes it fun. So check that out. Make sure you're subscribed to him if you want to hear more stuff like this. And I will see you all next time in the Time Machine Rave. It's Ray!